So hi, good afternoon. Let me welcome everyone here to Howard University. I'm glad that you could join us today. I certainly want to thank Secretary Buttigieg for being here today and for all of his support. As I was chatting with him, I was telling him, I think our universities in America are like flotillas. They're very, very large. They don't turn very quickly, and every now and then we lose a ship. And then he was telling me about the department that he runs for the government. And I thought to myself, yeah, my flotilla is a lot smaller and that's probably a lot more manageable. So we appreciate all the work that you do. And we certainly hope you had a good time with us today. I do want to recognize a few people. I want to recognize Professor Aaron. His work over time, especially in conjunction with the Department of Transportation, has been fantastic. And so I certainly want to give him a round of applause and thank him for all that he's been doing. And I also do want to recognize the Dean of the college, Dr. Anderson, who's also been doing a fantastic job. And so certainly our esteemed Eleanor Holmes Norton, who we just can't say enough about you. I know just as you were saying, it was good to see you again. I think again was just last week or a week before that you were here with us. And so again, we welcome you and thank you for all the support and all the advocacy that you bring to the District of Columbia. So I appreciate you very much. All right, and I'll turn it over to, I believe, Congresswoman.
Well, I'm certainly pleased to join Secretary Buttigieg for this tour of the Howard University Transportation Research and Data Center. As a senior member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, the ranking member of Highways and Transit, and a native Washingtonian, I am incredibly proud that Howard is the first HBCU to be chosen for a Tier 1 University Transportation Center through this Department of Transportation grant program. Congratulations, Howard. I am particularly glad that Howard University Transportation Center will be focused on research and education in transportation safety. As ranking member of the Highways and Transit Subcommittee, safety has been my top priority. In crafting the landmark Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, we ensured significant investments would be made in safety infrastructure and research, and I continue to work to ensure that those investments are made in local communities. The legislation includes increased funding, including $15.5 billion for the Highway Safety Improvement Program and $7.2 billion for the Transportation Alternatives Bicycle and Pedestrian Program to stem the rising tide of traffic fatalities. Deaths on our roadways disproportionately harm pedestrians, cyclists, and minority communities. And I am proud of the role Howard University will play in preventing these needless deaths. I would like to offer my sincere congratulations to Dr. Stephen Arhin and his team and Howard University as a whole for this incredible opportunity, and I look forward to future collaboration between the Department of Transportation and Howard University. Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robert Hampshire. I'm the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Research and Technology, but also the Chief Scientist for USDOT. I'm really excited to be here to congratulate Dr. Aaron and the Howard team today, and I'll introduce the Secretary here shortly. You know, the UTC program started in 1987 really is a program that focuses on advancing the state of the art when it comes to transportation research and technology, as well as preparing that next generation of transportation professionals. The program started out with 10 centers. Back in '87, we just announced 35 new centers. Of those centers, this includes a historic number of HBCUs, of MSIs, certainly that Howard ranks certainly at the top of that list. But Howard not only is leading the new UTC, but is a member of 3 other consortiums of UTCs. And that represents a deep expertise here at Howard that we're just so excited to partner with. This consortium that Howard's leading includes San Jose State, also University of Maryland, a little bit north of here, and also UNLV, so Nevada, Las Vegas. And so really it's a great interdisciplinary team from universities, not just here on the East Coast, but across the country. And part of, certainly Howard, the set of researchers, professionals, partners, we see DDOT here today, and staff are really put together a tremendous proposal that puts you at the leading edge of new generation of transportation investments. And we know that, these investments are really what we need right now. Your voices, your contributions. I see the students back here. I'm a former professor. The students, the insights, we're going to need all of that to achieve the challenges, to overcome the challenges we have in the transportation system. So without further ado, like I mentioned, so I'm a professor, former professor. I got to say, take the privilege to say, I've been funded by this UTC program 3 times as a faculty member. It matters. This program matters for safety. It matters for transportation. It matters for the students and preparing those students. And so with that, it's just a great honor for me to introduce our Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Buttigieg.
Well, thanks very much, Dr. Hampshire. It's so appreciative of the work that you and your colleagues, our colleagues, are doing, and so pleased to be here back on the campus of Howard University. I want to thank Congresswoman Holmes Norton, who is such an effective leader both in advocating for the district and in shaping transportation policy. And I would say that even if she were not a senior member of the committee that oversees and authorizes our work. But that certainly doesn't hurt, and we appreciate your leadership on the committee too. Dr. Frederick, you have so much to be proud of here at Howard University, and we're pleased to be partnering in this new way. And I'll tell you, we got a lot of proud alumni at the DOT. My colleague Irene Marion, who leads our Departmental Office of Civil Rights, has, I would say, has a contagious pride as she's been showing us and pointing out some things on campus. And so many of my colleagues who are here today have a background here at Howard or at any number of our terrific HBCUs across the United States. And Dr. Arhin and your team, congratulations, and no pressure, because we're expecting big things from you and the team that you're leading. This is a revered institution that has produced world-renowned educators, scientists, business leaders. It's given us so many of the best and brightest minds of this country, including, of course, the Biden-Harris administration, whose vice president was educated here on this campus, and again, so many of our number at the DOT as well. And so in that sense, we as a department already owe a great debt of gratitude to Howard. And I'm looking forward to deepening that partnership even further as we once again are gathering to celebrate that this is a Tier 1 lead university transportation center, a big deal in a very competitive process. We were delighted by this news. And delighted to award Howard $13 million, both through that consortium that will be led and the other 3 that Dr. Hampshire mentioned. Look, at a moment like this, the role of university transportation centers has never been important, never been more important than it is today. And I say that because we have rarely faced this many serious challenges and disruptions to our transportation systems, born of everything from decades of underinvestment to effects of the COVID pandemic and affecting everything from airline passenger performance to container shipping. But also opportunities like we have not had in my lifetime thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law that the Congresswoman helped shepherd into being and that the President was so proud to sign. We're also facing an enormous challenge when it comes to road safety in this country. Every year, around 40,000 people lose their lives on America's roads, roughly the same number of people we lose to gun violence in this country. They are our friends and family, neighbors and colleagues, and disproportionate are people of color, people living in low-income communities, and people living in rural communities. That national crisis demands that we reject the idea that this is just a cost of doing business in a modern transportation system. These deaths are preventable. That is at the core of our national roadway safety strategy, and it is at the core of our work as a department. And I'm excited about the work we can do together to confront that challenge. And we now have historic resources to do something about it. But to make the most of them, we're going to need the expertise of UTCs like this one. I've had a very enlightening tour of the facilities here. We saw tools for analyzing traffic patterns and learning from them to make better safety decisions. I even got a chance to drop by the middle school and see 8th graders and get an early start at recruiting them into the DOT, because it won't be that long before we're trying to pull them in to our important STEM jobs, as they were learning already about Newton's laws of motion. I'm pretty sure I couldn't tell you the first thing about that when I was in 8th grade. So I'm very excited to see how these students are going to thrive, how Howard's transportation work is going to help move us forward, and to recognize that generations to come are going to benefit from the work that we are doing right now. And so with that, and with one more plug for the community of students being cultivated here to consider careers not just in transportation, but perhaps with us at the Department of Transportation, I am really looking forward to seeing the fruits of this research, and again, on the heels of a very competitive program. Want to congratulate everyone at Howard who has been part of this, and look forward to making that official here with this presentation.
I'm going to take this out of the way. I'm just going to move this one. Excuse me.